What is an ego? I mean, it could be a lot of things, but you kind of just have to figure out what it really is to you.
Hello. Welcome to another video. Today I wanted to sit down and talk to you about this album. It's not really a formal review. I wrote down a couple notes, but I'm just going to be tossing it out. We're just going to talk about this album, and then I'm going to give it a little score at the end. You know, it's pretty fun. This is an album that nobody has heard of. It is an album by singer, songwriter, rapper, mostly rapper, but he kind of sings a little bit in this project, you know, and one of the choruses in the best song, you know, nothing much, you know. But he is a rapper, very underrated rapper that I found only recently, but he is definitely one of my favorite rappers right now, and his name is Muchi. This is Muchi's Ego Under Confidence, and I really wanted to show you this album because it's fantastic. It is genuinely amazing. I'm not even gonna go in here slowly. It is an amazing record. It is actually not an album, it is an EP. It's pretty difficult to talk about it without listening to it first, so I do suggest listening to it. It's very short. And I'm gonna get into my problems with it being so short very soon. But this album talks a lot about mental health, like a lot, and it talks about ego, confidence, and hating yourself, and it doesn't hold back on that, and I love that about this album because it doesn't try to hold back anything from you. It outwardly says lyrics like "I hate myself" and tons of threats, vague or very direct threats to his own ego, his self, and it is sad to watch someone who has gone through such similar things. This album really speaks to me and probably a lot of you guys as well. And it is a fantastic album it's not an album, it's an EP. It's not an album. And I'll briefly discuss now my problem. This album, EP, whatever, is so short. I'm discussing mostly because of I'm bringing this up because he released the deluxe edition of this EP featuring the instrumentals, which if I've done this correctly, you're listening to right now. Hopefully he's okay with that. You never know. But it is so short. I love this album. Listening to it is so contagious to listen to this over and over again. I've listened to this album, EP, I have to correct myself. I've listened to this like 3 times for this review alone, but I've listened to it quite a couple times before the deluxe was even out. And I love the deluxe. I recommend you listen to the deluxe. It's a little longer, has 2 more songs. It's a little better. Because the original release was 4 songs, 10 minutes. And it is so short. And this is my problem. My major problem is not about the music. The music is amazing. It's banger after banger after banger. And the writing is very good. For someone that I think is just starting out, it is very good writing. There are some aspects that you may want to improve, like maybe repeating phrases. It's a little bit much, not really for anything, just maybe to fill out time, but most of it is very good writing, and I have no problems with it. Like, it's not some genius type writing. It's still pretty blunt in its messaging. But that's not the point, right? It's kind of a mask-off way of saying anything in terms of mental health and the discussion of ego. It's very interesting in the way it's discussed in this EP, in a way that is directly something that harms you, but is you. And yeah, I'm confused. I just realized that's a bit of a problem. It doesn't really describe what ego is. It kind of reinforces the idea that you already know what an ego perfectly is. And we do, but it's kind of confusing in the way that he attacks ego. Like, it's a little confusing. Like, one of the songs, Ego's Villain, we don't really know who's Ego's villain. Like, who is Ego's villain? Confidence, maybe? I don't know. That's a bit of my problem. It's so short. I love the music, but it's so short. It's not very structured at all, but I love the songs so much. It is so fantastic to listen to these songs. They just flow. They flow well into each other, I guess. That's one way you can say it. But the themes are not tied together very well, other than ego. And I do like the intro. The intro is a little nice. It's pretty nice. Yeah. It starts out with a little skit. You know, it starts out with, like, this guy seeing Muchi, which is the poet in the park. That's what it's called. And he says, let me tell you a story. It'll only be a few minutes. And he's like, okay. Definitely referring to the briefness of it. You know, just a few minutes, you know. It is just a few minutes of your time. Right, for real. I cannot encourage you. I cannot tell you enough to listen to this EP. Before, after, during, whatever you want to that. You just listen to it. It's good, okay? You won't waste your time. But, yeah, I really like the way that it's kind of set up and then goes into the rap part. It's pretty cool. I say that the original version, ending with the song Pathetic, is really sudden. It's really sudden. I like that Last Time is included in the deluxe. That ends it with a bit more of a fade out, so it's not so sudden. I don't like when albums end like suddenly. I like them to like fade out. Like, I like albums to fade in and fade out. But that's just my liking. That's really my thing. It's not anyone's thing. Sometimes they do work when they don't fade in or out. Like, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, this is a fantastic album. Even with its flaws, I'm thinking a strong 9 to a 10 on this record. It is just great. I love the songs. For the songs alone, I go for that. Okay? You can argue with me all you want. But for the songs alone, for a collection of songs, I'm giving it a 10. But, yeah, Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Whatever. Bye. Nice. Good talk. Good talk.
I'm feeling fine. That's one of my favorite lies.